On the island of Evrima, size is power. For Herrerasaurus, survival isn't about brute strength. It's about cunning, speed, and grit. You're small and fragile. Everything here wants you dead. But if you play your cards right, you'll not only become the ghost in the underbrush, you'll become a phantom in the treetops, a silent killer in the shadows. This is not a story of dominance. It's a story of survival. Watch as we become the ghost of West Rail Access.
Alright, let's plug our coordinates into the map real quick, see where it spawned us. Alright, right in the middle of West Access, that's not too bad. So normally my ideal Herrera build is enlarged meniscus, congenital hypoplasia, and then reinforced tendons, but because of how bugged the AI has been, and it's been quite tough to find food in between fighting, I've been running efficient digestion as my first trait, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and set out on our journey. So it spawned us at West Access, in the glove, in the mitten. Right there. So really we need to go straight east to establish water, but then we're gonna have to pretty quickly start trying to find a chicken or something. We'll see what happens. There's currently 140 people on right now. You truly love to see it. So we're gonna head straight east to the phallic-shaped lake in West Access. And we'll get our bearings, figure out what we wanna do. The last time I went over that way, there was a good bit of food by said phallic pond. A little less than half hunger and a dream we make it there before we die. And we gotta jump too. So for reinforced tendons, you gotta jump 50 times before your last mutation comes in. And it makes jumping cost less stamina. Alright, we're still going east. And we're spent. So we're gonna need to pretty quickly find ourselves some food. Stamina refresh. Really gotta find some food. A chicken. A chicken would be so nice right now. Honestly, I could have swore I heard something. Maybe if we get lucky, some fish will spawn at this pond. It's gonna get dicey here shortly. Maybe get 5 fish out of a school of fish. Is that a stego? Alright, Mr. That's the Rex I was looking for. Yeah, I see you.
I was able to snatch a piece of meat from the strike body, but it wasn't a part of my diet, so it was only going to hold me over for a little bit. I needed something substantial.
I'd like to get this PT. The PT was on my diet. Where'd he go? I don't need the smoke, son.
It seemed like at this point, me and this T-Rex were going to be able to mutually benefit from civil coexistence. I just needed to continue to remain aware of my surroundings. This little Omniraptor was on my diet, and I knew that if I was going to grow any faster than I currently was, I needed to get some of his organs into my stomach. That was going to happen no matter what. The raptor, not being mindful to the fact that there are various Rexes in the area, pounced on one of them, only to be quickly smited. Not my kill, but some much welcome diet. Now we can finally get to growing.
So those Rexes, we have a mutually beneficial understanding. And for right now, we'll grow a little bit. I'm actually surprised that my jump didn't kill that little raptor. That raptor must have then jumped on that younger T-Rex. Second mutation, love to see it. So with this one, we're gonna go enlarge meniscus. Fall damage hits our stamina. Is this Rex talking to me? All right, so we are at the Dick Lake. We are 34% grown. We got our blood coming back. We got a pteranodon coming in. Yes, little pteranodon. 360. Yup. Preferred diet, baby. Man, the weather this time of year is something else. No pteranodon is safe. At some point, we're gonna have to start working our way south into West Access. Wow, I really cannot almost see anything.
And then I heard it. The call of a younger Dilophosaurus. He was close.
Dillo would be nice. Even though he's not on my preferred diet list, I still like to take them out when I get the chance.
It was time for my patience to finally pay off.
Ah, yes, little Dilophosaurus. Please do come closer.
It was a quick, decisive kill. Kill so quick and merciful that Dilophosaurus players wondering why they just went back to the start screen. That's what makes this game so great and so ruthless. Like Tarkov and many other survival games.
We are a kangaroo! Let's take a rest because usually there's a little bit of activity at this lake in West Rail, this little pond. So we'll get some rest, see if we can hunt anything here. Yep, already hear it. That was a Rex. Yes, come over here, little Rex.
I couldn't find that adolescent Rex, but off in the distance I did see something. It looked like a downed Triceratops. There was something over there eating it, and I needed to know what it was, because this was my territory. Carnotaurus. Surely much more deadly to me if he were bigger. But this was young, probably not even sub-adult yet. After eating, I was back over at the pond. I'd heard a pteranodon flying in, be the 4th or the 5th of the night. At this point, they're like candy. They're on my preferred list and I'll take them if I can get them. Plus, I'd like to get it without having to deal with a full-grown Carnotaurus. At this point, rail access is pretty locked down, and I'm just trying to conserve some energy while I wait for the perfect moment to strike. Lo and behold, a pack of Carnotaurus walk over to my pond to get water. If you thought that Deinosuchus was the only threat at the water's edge, I beg you all to please start hooking up. Undoubtedly upset, Mother Carnotaurus learns nature can be cruel sometimes, but she recognizes honor in the food chain and nature. One must die so another may thrive. It was early morning in West Rail access and the different species were beginning to wake up. The island was coming alive with the early morning sounds of life, and I was ready to make people afraid of the ghost. It was time to make my way back to the tree in the field, watch the sunset, and try to bait throughout the night. I had heard a couple Dilophosaurus communicating in the area. They could be close.
There he is.
For the rest of the day, I continued to lay baits, plot, and scheme. Nothing took the baits that night. The word must be spreading amongst the packs. West Rail access is not safe. For now it is though, for it was time for me to log out for the night. The next morning, things were already hot when I logged in.
Come here, little Rex. I just killed a Rex. $360. Here we go, 360. Got him.
Throughout the day and long into the night, I relentlessly hunted anything I knew didn't stand a chance. Over and over again, they just didn't look up, and it cost them their lives. You see, that's the difference between you and me. You're playing a dinosaur in the aisle. I'm literally inside my dinosaur's mind, thinking like a top predator. If it's a literal fight for survival, what do I do? How do I act? You have the weapon that is a carnivorous dinosaur with the brain of a human. That is one of the reasons I love this game. No one is ever safe. Before I logged out, I had to drop one more Dilophosaurus for the culture. I had made a name for myself. When Rex gave me that trophy, personally, I knew that real recognized real, and the island knew that ghosts were real. Thanks everyone for watching.